Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing? It is officially Monday. I think it is the 14th. No, I think it's the 15th. 15th is the 15th. How are you doing? Hope all is well. You see the Bears again? Okay. Don't worry about it because if I was in Cleveland, I'd be like, see the Browns again. All right. As much as I would like to talk about them, they're not going to be the topic of conversation this morning. So, if you've been following my Facebook posts, and if you know my background, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm doing? I got blasted by a rumor mill that was just absolutely crazy, man. I don't know how else to describe it. So, okay, let me take it back chronologically in order. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start with first things first. First thing is, I am not the most sociable person, especially when I'm sitting up in here for obvious reasons. Because some of those people, they're right. They either have some type of mental ailment, and the scary ones do not. Brother Marshall, what you mean? Some of those guys know they did wrong to begin with, and they don't care. Some people try to describe it as a fit of survival. Me, I'm gonna call it what it is. You just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't right. 2016 November, I was hired at UPS. I was actually staying at the city mission at the time. I was going through some family problems. It was mostly about money, income. And it contributes to me having similar symptoms to a nervous breakdown. And then, what happened to me is, people around me, find out how fast they ain't shit. It hurts people, tell them the truth. So, but at the same time, you have to care about somebody enough to tell them the truth. So, within my first few weeks there, I got hired at UPS with a bunch of systems. Some of these systems for people who's living on the street and at the street level, they're corrupt. I no problem about saying that. Especially when I heard about all the things going on and stuff going on. So this back in 2016. Okay, so 9 years later, I'm sitting here right now, still employed at UPS. I have a place that I can call my own, but it's not much. I work part-time. I work full-time. People sitting around here, and groups, because I don't have what you call an operating kitchen, or what you call it, a private bath. So I'm literally up there sharing it with 6 to 7 other men. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what I call it the dormicile. That's exactly what a dormicile is. You know what I'm saying? So why is people having a hard time, with the communications and stuff is beyond me. So here I am, I'm sitting out here, I'm wait for the bus to go to work. And then I look at stuff, and then I hear stuff, the rumors. But instead of me addressing the rumors all the time, and I've done that. I look at the people starting it now. So, what you got at some of these food groups are groups of people who think they're right. They think they're right. They think they're right. And what I'm finding out, because, because they're migrants, that a lot of these groups, especially their privatized security to go along with these groups, I'm sorry, but I haven't looked at the actual lawsuit myself, because there is a lawsuit. You see, I ain't playing. They're suing. They're trying to sue. What's going on is that a lot of these private security firms got named in this lawsuit. Not kidding. You know what I'm saying? So when people claim that this was going on, and I made that video a few months ago, I was clueless. I didn't know full scope, and I'm still learning about really that went on, and why my name keep popping up? Because Marshall made Facebook videos. Where my viewership at? Real question. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they don't know I can get sponsor ties and get a few dollars out of this, right? People say incredible stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at who's doing it, and then it took some imagination to come up with a plan. See, not only did they spread a bunch of rumors about me, they had a plan. When this investigator told me this, this was actually early Friday morning before I headed out north to a soup kitchen in Evanston called Just Harvest. So I visit there frequently, especially over the weekends. Because there's not a lot of places open around here or even safe to be at. Because of the stuff that's going on in here. And here I am. I'm talking to this other person. Tall Caucasian guy, you know what I'm saying? And he's bringing up a bunch of this, stuff that says like Redrick. It sounds like Redrick. Until he said something about what was going on up at Catholic Charities and why they don't, people that's living around there don't want them there. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, that was crazy. But it's truthful because, there's a place I don't go to because it's rowdy in there, and it's right down the street from me on Dearborn, where people that's living around there don't want them there either. So here's my point. The people who were sitting around spreading the rumors are all people who patronize those soup kitchens. Then the volunteers pick these rumors up. Some of them act upon these rumors, but nobody asked me anything about it. You see what I'm saying? I didn't even know some of this stuff was even being said. So when I look, and then I look, and then I ID, like, this dude's a registered sex offender. That guy's a sex offender. This other guy's a registered sex offender. That guy is actually wanted for shoplifting. You know what I'm saying? These people do all sorts of stuff. And then I sit up and go to work every day. So when were you gonna ask me about it? Never? Okay, oh, yeah, I can deal with that. But when I come out and tell the truth about it, respect never, because you never asked me about it. All right, I'll catch y'all. Have a nice day, man.